Hi everyone, I did not forget about you. I haven't posted a video in a long time and I need to get caught up. But today, it's June, the end of June. We ended the school year June 15th or 16th formally. That was a couple weeks ago. Then I had my birthday on the 23rd. I've had a bunch of friends with birthdays. And so yeah, we're still staying home pretty much most of the time here in California, in San Diego. So, but I've been working in my garden. One of the things I figured out is that I really miss gardening. I used to garden a lot, but then we were gone vacationing throughout our summer off and on, weeks, couple weeks here, couple weeks there. So I kind of gave up the gardening because I wasn't home to like water it and weed it and take care of it, and it would just like dry up and die and or whatever. So I've been working in my garden. I have a previous video from a couple months ago when I started doing my planning, so I wanted to update you about the garden and about what I'm doing. So let me turn this around. It's a beautiful day here, by the way. So this was kind of my little bit of an herb garden. So it looks a little different than the last time I videotaped. So I have some basil here, and then I have some lettuce. I didn't realize this, but you can take a head of lettuce, and when you cut off the stem end of the lettuce and set it in water, it will start to grow and sprout, and new lettuce will start to grow out. So I did that here with these two little things. I did some romaine lettuce. So I don't know, I'm in California. It's like we have 100-degree days. We haven't yet, but I'm assuming once it gets really hot that those are probably going to dry up. But for now, you can see it started to sprout. The part underneath there, that's the stem that I cut off from the end of the romaine. And so it's like sprouting all these little lettuce sprouts. And the one next to it too. So I don't know how long that's gonna last. I don't know if it's even gonna produce anything we can eat, but it's just kind of fun. Over here I have, these are pepper plants, green peppers, or no, I'm sorry, red peppers. But then I read the other day that red peppers are just green peppers that have been growing on the vine longer. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. And all of this is mostly in the shade. Like you can see, it's mostly shaded. So that's kind of why I put the lettuce over here and these herbs, because herbs and lettuces tend to be more delicate in the heat. So let's see. This is a pepper. This is a hot jalapeno pepper that actually my student Max, hi Max if you're watching, I planted right there. So it's already got some little flowers growing on it, and there were some bees on there earlier, so hopefully that will grow some jalapenos sometime this summer. This is oregano. This is rosemary, which smells fabulous, and so does the oregano. This is some sage. I don't use sage that often, except at like Thanksgiving, with turkeys and chicken and all of that. But it was pretty, and I wanted to try growing it. Over here, we have, this is another pepper plant, and another red pepper. So those are two red peppers right there. And then I have some flat leaf Italian parsley here. And then over here, where is it? Right below me. This right here is cilantro. And it's looking a little brown. I think it's really delicate, and it's probably getting too much sun, so I might have to dig that out and try to replant it in a shadier spot. And then I have some thyme here, and I think that's it for this little garden area. But it's growing and getting bigger, and things seem to be healthy. Over here, I have my 3 tomato plants. You can see I've got a nice big tomato growing right there. I'm hoping that no animals get to it before it's ready to be picked. That's kind of the problem here in California. We have a lot of mice and a lot of rats and possums, and I know we have some bunny rabbits that live up in these bushes. I've got some really thick bushes along the side of my house, 2 big hedges, And so, so we'll hopefully that beautiful tomato will not, let's zoom in on that. Look at that sucker. That is a big beefsteak tomato, the perfect tomato for slicing for hamburgers, or just if you're just slicing them up, eating them with some salt and pepper. Oh my gosh, so good. And over here is an heirloom tomato. I've never tried to grow an heirloom tomato, but they grow really odd shapes. So this one, you can already see it's kind of got a sunspot there. I don't know what to do about that, but you can see how they grow, like they're really bumpy and kind of odd shaped. And here's another little one next to it. So they're not like completely round like that beefsteak tomato, but they really have really great flavor. There were a couple that I picked yesterday and we had with tomato cucumber salad. It was really good. This is my zucchini, which is just starting to grow, and hopefully I'll have some zucchini in another month or so. And those, you can see the orange blossoms on there. Looks a little bit like kind of a pumpkin vine. Zucchini and pumpkins are in that same kind of squash family. So for those of you kiddos who've read all those books about growing pumpkins and stuff, and if you were in my class, we learned about the parts of the pumpkin plant and the leaves and the blossom. There it is. It looks very similar to that, but it's zucchini. Zucchini are kind of long, look almost like cucumbers, but they're a little thicker inside. So I just cooked some zucchini, not from my garden, but zucchini that I bought and last night, and I put a little olive oil, salt and pepper, and grilled them up on the grill, and they were so good. And then these two tomato plants are Roma tomatoes, which I've never grown before. And Roma tomatoes are kind of that long, I have a couple over here, a long kind of egg-shaped oblong tomato. And those are really good for making Italian sauces and dicing up for different Italian dishes. So yeah, and then that tomato plant right there is another beefsteak, just like that one next to it. So yeah, so there's that part of the garden so far. So, you know, the key is just I'm out here every day, making sure it's not too dry, not too wet, watering. Tomatoes and zucchini require a lot of water. So I have a built-in sprinkler watering thing that waters in the morning, and then in the late afternoon, I usually come out here and add a little more water. But I don't do it too late because you don't want the plants to get moldy. If you water them and then it doesn't get a chance to dry out and really drain, it can get kind of moldy and then your plants die. So you don't want that to happen. So there's that garden, those two garden areas. And now I'm going to take you to my other garden area where I have some pepper plants and more peppers. We like peppers. We use a lot of green peppers, yellow peppers, red peppers. These are green peppers back here. So I have a long line of those. And then in the back there, I have some cucumbers. And cucumbers are, again, kind of in that same family as zucchini and pumpkin. They love to make a long vine. And so this vine loves to climb. And so if you put up some type of climbing thing, they will climb on there. You can see on this one, there's that little tendril that likes to wrap itself around things. That one's already started to wrap around that wire right there. So yeah, my garden's a little late this year. I didn't get everything planted early because I was just busy with the end of school and Zoom meetings and all kinds of stuff, and I just didn't have time to come out here and spend hours and hours preparing the soil. So yeah, and here is a green pepper that's already started to grow on that plant. And then you can see some baby peppers right there, and there's one back here in the back. And again, they need lots of water too, because peppers and cucumbers as well have a lot of water in them. They have a lot of moisture, so they take a lot of water to water them. So I do the same thing. I come out here in the morning and I have the little sprinkler and I turn that on in the morning, and then I do it in late afternoon, just to keep the ground a little moist, but not too moist. And then I have some more zucchini here. Here's another zucchini plant and my other zucchini plant. So no zucchinis yet, but where these little blossoms are, hopefully there'll be some zucchinis on there. You can actually eat those orange flower blossoms if you go to fancy restaurants. Sometimes they'll offer zucchini blossoms as a pretty garnish, or I went to a restaurant one time where they had sauteed zucchini blossoms as like an appetizer, which was kind of interesting. I didn't order it, but yeah, apparently you can eat the blossoms. I just want to look at them. I don't want to eat them. So anyway, I wanted to share with you my garden today. So I hope that you enjoyed that. So yeah, it's kind of fun. And I'll let you know how the tomatoes are going. And ooh, I just spied a new tomato I hadn't noticed before. I have a new tomato. Ooh, that looks like a good one growing down there. And then a couple more here that are growing. So we'll keep looking and checking all the tomatoes, and hopefully I'll get to eat them before some varmint gets in there and eats them. I'm trying to figure out a good way to cover them, to cover my plants and protect them from critters, but I'm not so sure I'm good at that. I haven't figured out something really good to do with that. So anyway, thanks for watching my garden video today. I'll try to take another one and we can see as things grow. And yeah, one of the books I read was about gardens and gardening, and hopefully you can check out that video. And I have some more garden books to read about vegetables and things, so I'll be posting those as well. So all right, see you later.